What's going on, guys? Scarce here. And today we're going to be talking about a YouTube video. Why do I got this shitty ass lens cap on this? Don't look at my YouTube recommendations. Actually, I don't really care. Look at this. This is peak. This is peak right here. VTuber niche ASMR. Click Philip. Lightning McQueen video. Dude, did you that? This was crazy. This, Evil Nero's birthday. Dude, it was so fucking scuffed. I don't think in my entire life I have seen a stream, seen anything more scuffed than this. Like, it kind of didn't, it was like working fine. And then Discord went down and then everything went to shit. So I thought that was funny. What else? I was watching this video. Oh, you can't even hear that. It's muted. But I thought this was interesting. I don't know. I was just reading some of the comments. And, I think that I already... Because, okay. You know how Japan was in the early 2000s where it was kind of like a black box? Like, no one really in the West, the general Western public did not understand what the fuck Japan was. And in China is the same way about that, except worse because China is like an enemy, so we get even like more distorted information. I think from what I understand, in the 90s and 80s and whatever, 2000s, maybe not so much the 90s and 80s, but like the 2000s, 2010s, like even though the rise of the internet was happening before everyone's very eyes, it was still kind of just no one was really reporting on Japan because it was like, I don't know, it's they're some Asian country and I don't know, I have my I know about them. I heard my back in the 90s they were all rich over there, which actually I still hear every time that not every time, but multiple times when I have talked to some 40, 50-year-old person, like, oh yeah, I went to Japan a couple times. Like, oh, they're all real rich over there, aren't they? They make a lot of money over there. I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? Like, no, not really. Why? They've had like 20 years of stagnant wages. I'm like, these people must be thinking these people have gotten their perception of Japan from 30 years ago in the 90s when it was like, oh, was Japan going to become the new global superpower? Find out more at tonight at 5, whatever, So I think a lot of people have that sort of phenomenon happening to them with China, except it's like worse because, like I said, like they're an enemy, so it's very distorted, the type of information that we get without digging too far into it, And yeah, I don't know. I think that I have kind of a, I don't know, like it's a country, it's another country in the world, you know. There are ups and downs, there are goods and bads, there are very strange things that I could never in my whole life wrap my head around, which I don't feel like that happens with a country like Japan. I don't think Japan is that difficult to understand once you are acclimated with, you know, hey, by the way, there are cultures other than your own that are very different. And once you move beyond that, I don't think, really I don't think most countries are so impossible to get a general gist of or like, whatever. Um, but a lot of people in these comments about China are just, I don't know, it's interesting. I think it's okay to admit, and it's interesting to like say, hey, especially now, the United States as a country, I think is in a weakened state. I think we are kind of on the downfall, like a lot of other countries. Okay, right now, a lot of countries are not doing phenomenal. So that's not really like a huge shocker, you know. But I think it's interesting to see people's reaction to China or like, just certain basic facts about China. I do think it is interesting because I think if you go to China, I think if you look around and just observe and just interact with parts of the country, I think it's easy to admit, if you're going in with an open mind, like, hey, there are obviously certain parts of this system that are working and that are like, that are okay. Let me phrase it this way: that are making people's lives better inside of China. Let me phrase that way. You know, and I think a lot of it is like infrastructure. I think that is pretty easy to see, you know, if you walk around in China. Like, oops. Like, hey, yes. This this country has been able to build a lot of different things that the US may never have, you know. But then again, it's like that's not necessarily a super fair comparison now that I'm thinking about it because a lot of like trains for example, just as an example. A lot of European countries have very robust public transport and train systems. So it's kind of almost in that way uniquely American uh that it kind of gets all fucky wucky, that it's all fucked up and that we uniquely cannot uh do it for some reason. You know what I'm saying? Oops. So I think that is interesting. I think obviously our strong suit is the, at least in theory, that if someone does not like something, it's just the freedom. I know that's kind of a little cliche, but legitimately, I don't know, man. This shit is being diminished nowadays, but the ability to, you know, say fuck you, Donald Trump, you pedophile protector, right to his fucking face in front of a bunch of TV cameras, like, that's a good thing. Like, I like that. Uh, if you told that to a Chinese person, though, number one, if you sort of brought up the idea of like, hey, wouldn't you want to be able to say fuck you to Xi Jinping? Xi Jinping? Is that how you say it? Xi Jinping. You just gotta say it fast. Um, they would probably go, why would I want to do that? Because that very thought is kind of like a strange idea, because obviously they've been brought up in an environment in which you can't really do that, or like at least it would be considered taboo, so you wouldn't, you know. Um yeah, I don't, it's interesting to consider these different perspectives, because yeah, no one can truly be objective on any of this stuff. It's just not possible. So I don't know. I guess the point that I was trying to say is like, it's interesting to see how other countries do things, and also I don't know. I don't know. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to look at more lenses. Sony E. Damn, these are good at. Damn, bro. Give me this shit, brother. Look at that. Oh, okay, no, it has gone down before, but it is rare. And it's also. No, it's the same price. Viltrox, make your fucking lenses already. Oh my god. There's way too many. When is Viltrox? When are they fucking making? Yeah, they only have the one. I don't really want an f1.8 though. I would rather have this be much smaller. You know what I'm saying? Wow, look at that on an S1R2. Viltrox. Oh, it is on sale. Well, that's Sony E. Man. Wait, are these different? No, these are the same lens. Man, not on sale. I really want these air lenses. That's what I want. I knew I was gonna run out of things to say. I'd already been talking for too long. I knew it. Can't fucking see. Oh. Oh wait, is that a streamer thing? Oh, it is. I actually didn't know that. Is that like a thing that you can choose? What the fuck? Hmm. I bought this fucking. Hold up. PT Artisan 40. This. Dude, this thing fucking sucks. I gotta return this because this it just sucks. Like you literally fucking use the fucking focus ring as a goddamn zoom ring. It's so fucked up. I don't know. And I don't know. I think for such a niche lens already, and it feels like shit, which is kind of surprising for a TT Artisan lens. Usually it doesn't feel that shit. But for a TT Artisans, like for a macro lens, for a lens that is already so niche, having this internal reflection problem where it's diminishing the usefulness of it is like, how about no? And the light changes so much as you zoom in and out. But I don't know if that's because it fucking externally zooms so much, or if it's just like a flaw. I don't know. It sucks either way. But really, it feels like shit too. I don't know why it's so bad. It's like grindy. I'd just rather spend an extra $100 and get an actual lens that fucking works. With autofocus, by the way. Not that that matters super much, but. Oh my god. Don't look at that. Hey, look, it's me. I should have upped the bitrate on this, by the way. I kinda didn't realize how low the bitrate was. So yeah, I should have upped it a lot. Cheap, yes. Oh, I streamed for 22 minutes. I'll probably delete this VOD.